How's it going, guys? Today we're going to talk about the beauty of Japan. Yeah, you can come to Japan and you can enjoy the food here, culture. Yeah, Japan is such a great country to live, temporarily, like, a few years, 2 years, 3 years, even permanently, right? For foreigners, Japan is great. Yeah, it's a great environment, to be honest. I'm not just saying because I'm Japanese, and I was born and raised in Japan, but Japan is cool, right? Food, like I said, and culture, education. Education is not that cool, but food is definitely it's good, and they're very safe. Yeah, low crime rate, so it's good. But don't ever invest in Japan, right? Invest in Japan like stocks, Japanese companies, horrible real estate, whatever. Yeah, declining population considering, right? So you don't ever, right? You don't want to invest in Japan, right? You better, invest in like U.S., S&P 500, whatever other developed countries, right? If you look at the major index, in Japan, Nikkei 225, if you look at the past 30, 40, 50 years, that index is flat as hell, right? I remember the peak of the Nikkei 225 was 1989, before the collapse of bubble economy of Japan, right? But if you look at the S&P 500, the annualized total returns of, in the past 1 century, right? It's 10%, right? Especially this year, 2024, it rose 28.6, 29%. It's incredible, right? Not just the US. If you look at the other developed countries' economy, right? Great. But Japan sucks, right? Don't ever invest in Japan. Don't put your money in Japan. You can come to Japan, you can live in Japan, but put your money in other places, right? Don't ever buy house in Japan, right? Declining population, there's no possibility to increase, right? The value of resale value of real estate in Japan increase, right, in the future, right? Don't ever buy, just rent, right? Having said that, like I said, it's cool. Come to Japan, live a nice life. Especially Japan is cheap as hell, right? You can buy everything here in Japan. Like if you have $10 USD, you can have a nice meal in Japan. Go to a nice restaurant. The advantage of convenience stores, the convenience stores is just amazing here in Japan, right? You can drink whatever you want. You can eat whatever you want. You can buy anything you want at the convenience store. Wow, great, right? And nice weather, possible, right? It's great, but don't ever put your money in any form of assets in Japan, right? Real estate, stock market, crypto is good, but anything related to Japan, right? That's what I wanted to say to you guys, especially if you are planning to come to Japan, live in Japan temporarily, whatever. Yeah, don't ever invest, right? But other than that, it's cool. People are nice, people are kind, and but the thing is, you have to speak some Japanese because Japanese people are lazy to learn English, right? If you go to other Asian countries, the Philippines, the Malaysia, there are a lot of people speak decent English, even though they're not that fluent. Not everybody, but they can speak English. Then they have this mentality to proactively speak English besides your native tongue. But Japanese people are lazy. They don't want to learn English. So yeah, don't come to Japan, right? I mean, don't invest in Japan.